Indicators don't work. Indicators are full of shit. You won't be a consistent trader if you focus too much on indicators. I have personally said all these things and I'm making this video because indicators do work if you know how to use them. The first thing I want you guys to do is go on TradingView, go on indicators and scroll all the way to the bottom. You won't be able to find a bottom because there are millions of day trading indicators that you can use. But in this video, we're only going to focus on specific indicators, very important indicators that just make sense. We won't be discussing indicators like this MACD is crossing that MACD, that is a signal to buy. If that MACD is crossing this MACD, that is a signal to sell. If RSI is under 20, just buy the dip. The next thing you realize is that the dip keeps on dipping and you blow up your account. In this video, we're going to discuss indicators that are fundamentally based on candlestick, chart patterns, volume, retracements, and all these fundamentals of price action. And by the end of this video, you will know that why do you use these indicators? Because why is very important. If you don't understand an indicator and why are you using that indicator, then it doesn't make sense for you to use that indicator. The first indicator is average true range, which is also called ATR. It just makes sense to use this indicator because it shows you the average of true ranges of a stock over a specific period. It's not a simple formula like A plus B divided by 2. It's a bit more complicated than that. But the good thing about 21st century is that you don't have to do it manually. The platform will do it for you. So let's just take a look how to add this indicator and how to use this indicator. To add this indicator on TradingView, click on this indicator at the top right here and search for ATR, average true range. This is the default one that I used to use, but I'm going to discuss another very important tip, which is a really good indicator that you can use in place of ATR. To add this indicator, it's going to add the ATR at the bottom right here. But if you want to move it to the top, just click here and move to existing pane above. So now it's going to show the ATR on the chart itself, which is not looking too good. But I don't keep the ATR on my chart every single day. I trade the same bunch of stocks almost every single day. So I have an idea that the ATR of Tesla is around $12. The ATR of Netflix is around $15. So I just add this indicator once in a while to get an idea how much a stock is moving on an average every single day. So usually this indicator is hidden, but I just show it once in a while to get an idea of the ATR. Now I will show you guys one amazing thing. If you go on indicators again on TradingView and search for DTR versus ATR, and if you add this indicator, this is pretty awesome because one of the members of our Discord group, he found this indicator. This shows you DTR versus ATR every single day. So yesterday DTR was $4.17 for this stock Microsoft. That is the difference between low of the day and high of the day was $4.17 versus the ATR of this stock is $6.68. So I don't have to look at this ATR on my screen right here. Yes, I need to know the trend if the ATR is going down or not, but usually I just have this bubble right here, top right corner. It's not bothering me. It's not on the chart itself, and it's a really good indicator to have on your chart, top right corner. How do I use this indicator? This is very important to avoid overextended plays. For example, the ATR of Microsoft is $6.68. Now, on any given day, if Microsoft has already moved $5 for the day and I'm thinking of taking that trade, it doesn't make sense because the ATR says that it can move around $6 to $7 for the day. So there's no point taking that trade because the reward is not there. And the second way this indicator can help you is that if you take Microsoft on any given day, maybe you enter around $330 level and your profit target is $335. That makes sense because your profit target is like 5 points from low of the day if $330 is the low of the day and it's within the ATR. Now don't do that thing that you enter at $330, your profit target is $340 because the ATR is $6.68. So this indicator also helps you to have good profit target. The second indicator, my favorite indicator, is relative volume, also called RVol in short. So this indicator shows you the real-time volume of a stock, whether the real-time volume is higher or lower than average volume. You can look at RVol in terms of fractions or percentages. So one fraction is equal to 100%. So if RVol is less than 1 or less than 100%, that means the volume on that stock for that specific period is lower than average volume. And if the RVol is more than 100% or greater than 1, 1.2, 1.3 or 120 or 130%, that means that stock is doing higher than average volume for that specific period of time. This means if the RVol is high, then most likely that stock is in play. A lot of traders and algos are trading that stock. That makes it a very good candidate for day trading. For example, if you're taking a breakout trade, and ideally the volume should be high on breakout, but you won't know until the breakout happens if the volume is high or not. And that's why RVol is very important. RVol shows you the real-time volume. You don't have to wait for the candle to close. You don't have to wait for the 1 day or 1 week candle to close. RVol will show you in real time if the volume is high or low. To add this indicator on TradingView, go on indicators, search for RVol. This is the first one that I use. I personally use the indicator RVol on Dash Trader Pro. That is the platform I use every single day. If you guys want to know more about my day trading setup and the platforms, you guys can check out this video, the day trading setup video. It's going to be linked at the top. This RVol, it's similar to the Dash Trader Pro. I have confirmed it, so you can use this indicator on TradingView. This is an intraday indicator, so it won't show anything on the daily chart. You have to go on the 5-minute chart. And we can see that today at 9:30 a.m., the RVol of Microsoft was $9.99. So this is approximately similar to the average volume. Now, for example, on this day, this is a really good example. On this day, at the open, when Microsoft made this bullish doji, the RVol was only $0.23. That means when the stock is going up, the RVol is pretty low. And when the stock is coming down, the RVol has started to increase right here. So that means the move towards the upside is on very low volume, lower than average volume, so it might not sustain. And this push towards the downside, the volume is increasing. So that means most likely today is not the day for the Microsoft to go towards the upside. And how do I use this indicator? The higher the RVol, the better that stock is for day trading, for good momentum plays. And I use this indicator in addition to ATR to set good profit targets. For example, I have realized that personally, if a stock moves past the ATR, for example, say ATR of a stock is $10, on any given day it's moving $15, that is 1.5 times the ATR, then most likely the RVol of that stock is going to be more than 200%. And that is the reason if the RVol is high, I can increase my profit targets. But if the RVol is low, if the move is not supported by volume, I can take quick profits and just get into scalping mode. And the second way I use this indicator is that if you're in a position and the stock is moving in your favor and the RVol is also going up, that is very good sign for you to hold on to your position because the move is supported by volume. On the other hand, if I'm taking a position towards the upside, the stock is going towards the upside, but that is not supported by volume, then I know that this is not a really good position. If the RVol is not increasing, I should take my quick profits. So it's always good to know what the RVol is, and it's even better to know if the RVol is going up or the RVol is going down. Is it going in the favor of your position or it's going against your position? The third indicator, which is arguably the most popular indicator for intraday trading, is VWAP, volume weighted average price. The popularity of this indicator makes it very important because if a lot of traders are looking at the same indicator, it just makes it a lot more important as a support and resistance indicator. It's one of the indicators that takes into consideration the volume that the stock is doing, unlike a lot of other indicators like ATR and moving averages that are totally based on price action and the range of a stock. To add this indicator, you have to go on indicators again, just search for VWAP, volume weighted average price. Add this indicator. We will make a few changes. So this green line on the daily chart, it's the VWAP. It doesn't make sense to use this indicator on the daily chart because it's just joining the candlesticks. It's an intraday time frame indicator. It's better to use this indicator on the 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes chart. You can use it on the hourly chart, but I would just personally stop at the 15 minutes chart. Let's take a look at the 5 minutes chart. This is the VWAP right here. Personally, I don't use the upper band and the lower band, so let's remove it. Go on settings, remove the lower band, remove the upper band, and remove the bands fill region. So as a rule of thumb, VWAP acts as a support if the stock is above VWAP, and VWAP will act as a resistance if the stock is under VWAP. So that means for my trading, if the stock is under VWAP, I don't like to buy calls or maybe go for long positions. And if the stock is above VWAP, I don't like to buy puts or go short the stock. The second way you can use this indicator is that if the stock is very extended from VWAP, for example, the VWAP is holding around $101 and the stock is already at $104, then don't take that stock because it's very extended from VWAP, so the momentum won't be there. And if the stock is very extended from the VWAP, then the pullback is going to be a lot longer as well. The fourth type of indicator I use is moving averages. There are two types of moving averages, EMAs and SMAs, exponential moving average and simple moving average. Again, the calculation is a bit more complicated. You don't have to do it manually. 21st century, the platform will do it for you. Exponential moving average follow the stock price more closely because they give more weight to the current price of the stock compared to the simple moving average. So I use 9 and 20 EMA on the intraday and the daily time frame as well. On the higher time frames, I use the 50 SMA, 100 SMA and the 200 SMA on the daily chart, weekly chart and the monthly chart. To add these moving averages, you guys know the drill now. Just go and search for 50, 100 and 200 SMA right here. So we can add this indicator and then you can search for EMAs as well, 920. Just let's search for 920 right here. 9, 20, 50, 200. So we can hide the other ones. So these are the indicators I use, SMAs. Now we can reduce the thickness here. So we can go on style and change the thickness, opacity, change the thickness right here, change the thickness of this indicator, change the thickness of this line as well. So you can just make it the way you like. Personally, I have it like this. 9 and 20 EMAs for me are gray right here. This orange is the 50 SMA, 100 SMA, and the 200 SMA. So this is how I keep it. And how do you use moving averages on the higher time frame? So this is the weekly chart of Tesla. So we can see we had a rally towards the upside. We pulled back to the 50 SMA. That is the 50 SMA on the 1 week chart, which is very important. Then we held this 50 SMA right here, held this right here again, held the 50 SMA as resistance, pushed towards the downside. This is the 200 SMA, reclaimed it, pushed towards the upside, and now we are holding near the 100 SMA. So it's just good to gauge an idea if the stock is pushing towards the upside or if the stock is pushing towards the downside. If the stock is holding above the 50 SMA on the weekly and the daily chart, that means the trend is towards the upside. If the stock is holding under the 50 and the 100 SMA on the daily and the weekly chart, that means that the trend is towards the downside. And how to use the exponential moving averages? You guys can see these are the 9 and the 20 EMA, the gray lines. So these usually work best on trending days. You can't use moving averages if the market is moving in a range, because the moving averages will just be close to each other. So you want the market to be trending first of all, and you want the moving averages to be in a direction. If the moving averages are just like being like this, then it doesn't make sense for you to use the moving averages. For example, Tesla had a good push towards the upside, pulled back to the 9 EMA, held the $253 level as support, and pushed towards the upside. So I don't use the moving averages for signals, but I just use them to gauge an idea. Similar to VWAP, if a stock is holding above the 9 and 20 EMA, I don't like to short it. And if the stock is very extended from these moving averages, then the pullback will be for a lot longer. The fifth type of indicator I use are patterns and levels. Basically, there are a few indicators that will mark these levels, like the yesterday's high, yesterday's low, 2 days ago high, 2 days ago low, yearly high, yearly low, all these levels automatically for you. Because if you don't have these indicators, you will have to do them manually, and it's very easy to just have these indicators and let the platform do the job for you. So for example, on the same stock, let's add an indicator right here. Let's search for 52-week high low. This indicator, I have it already. I won't add it again. But if I just make this indicator visible, you guys can see this indicator has automatically marked the 52-week high and 52-week low for me on my chart. So this is the 52-week low for Tesla, and this is the 52-week high for Tesla. Now a few other important levels are the yesterday's high, yesterday's low, and 2 days ago high and 2 days ago low. So there's an indicator right here, previous to day, and if you search for this, previous 2 days high low. Add this indicator right here, you guys will have these yesterday's high, yesterday's low, 2 days ago high and 2 days ago low levels already marked on your chart. Again, I like to change the color, so I'm just gonna keep everything gray. You guys can do it for yourself, but you guys can see if I go to my layout and if I add this indicator right here, it's just pretty much gray for me, right? So it just marks these levels for me, and it's pretty much gray. I don't like to see a lot of colors on my charts like blue, green, yellow, pink, orange, golden. And finally, the last indicator I want to mention here, it's kind of an amazing indicator. It just marks the candle patterns for you. So you have to go right here and click on patterns, all candlestick pattern. This is amazing. This is like a magic indicator. Now this right here, all patterns, you go in settings and you can mark everything, right? The strategy you trade, doji star, evening doji. I don't have this indicator all the time on my chart, but just something good to have. I can select every freaking thing right here. Morning doji, you guys can select everything, right? But you guys get the idea. So now this was like a bearish candle pattern right here. This was a bullish pattern candle right here. So we had a good push towards the upside. Now again, the patterns without the market sentiment won't make a lot of sense, but it's like good to know, but these are not signals. You can't buy and exit just because of these patterns, because patterns, yes, they work, but you have to look at the overall market sentiment. For example, if you have a bearish pattern on a stock, but that stock was holding stronger than the market yesterday, then that increases the chances of the stock going towards the upside, even though the chart pattern was very bearish, because that stock was showing relative strength compared to the market. So these indicators are like supplements of the fitness industry. For example, you can't have a six-pack body by just drinking protein shakes every single day. Your diet needs to be on point. Similarly, as a trader, you need to know how to read the price action, you need to know how to read the order flow, and these indicators are just going to help you with your trading to make your life a bit easier. So now you guys have seen for yourself that it just makes sense to use these indicators, because these indicators are fundamentally based on range of a stock, how much a stock moves on a daily basis, what's the volume like, is the volume going up or the volume is going down, is the stock extended or not, and a few indicators just mark these levels for you guys that you would mark anyways, and it just makes your job a lot easier. If there is any indicator that you guys love and you guys want me to look into it, let me know in the comment section below. And while you are there, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Honestly, it took me a long time to make this video, so a thumbs up will be really appreciated. And if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, that is a must follow. The link will be in the description box below. I post a lot of behind the scenes of a day trader on my Instagram as well. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.